Hey, Sophie. I'm just sitting here chilling. Nobody out here. So we can see physically. Anyway, I know if you on my channel, this isn't really too much for you because you may have this understanding. But just in case you got to send this to a friend. God is a spirit, right? So I say he because I'm trained to say he. Don't take it too precisely, okay? Ugh. When God works within people, he's working within that person. That person is not God. Okay? Sometimes we worship pastors, we worship people that speak their knowledge on God. And this becomes a bigger issue that we fairly address, because you'll see people that turn away from God and that's upset with God because of a negative experience they may have had with a person who is identifying as a Christian, identifying as a Catholic. As people, we are not perfect. As humans, there's human error, right? There's human error. So when we're trying to look for an excuse or a reason to turn away from God, stop trying to blame other people for our lack of understanding. Okay? So when you have lack of understanding, it's easy to blame and point fingers. When you lack responsibility, back up. You're going to always look for an excuse to why you can't do something or you don't do something, right? And I see a lot of videos out there explaining or targeting Christians, believers, mainly Christians. I don't know if it's because my social media knows I'm a Christian or something. Targeting Christians based off their experience. And listen, if you don't believe in God or Christian Bible, leave us alone. If you are upset about something that a Christian did to you, address that Christian. Simple. We still have relationships, jobs. We still have to make decisions. We're no different than you. Now, there are some Christians that do believe they are different, meaning like human, like they don't think they're human. Okay, that's that person. And there's been a lot of negative experiences I've had with quote-unquote Christians. It doesn't take away my relationship from God. And when you understand God, you understand like God is not perfect either. If God was perfect, I think we will all be more perfect than what we are. And if you meet anybody you meet, you're gonna see a little error in them. You're gonna see maybe their big toe is a little bit bigger than the left toe. I say all that to say there's healing that needs to be done. God didn't punish us for 400 years in slavery. We had to be more factual. Okay, so what's a fact? We have free will. Right? We have free will. When when you have free will, you have the ability to reject or accept. That's your free will, that you can reject or accept. You can say yes or you can say no. Back in the slavery times, right? And this goes back to slavery was a choice. I never saw that video, so I'm not going to go too far in it. Okay, I don't even know what he was referring to. I don't even know who was referring to it. All I can say is there were slaves that took their life because they chose to reject, right? There were slaves that rebelled, ran away, and got killed in public, which caused other slaves to stay in place. Kind of like modern terms, police brutality, right? So slavery theoretically lasted a long time because of how long it took for the people to reject it. When Harriet Tubman came about, now I don't know Harriet Tubman. I just know her story, that she freed slaves, right? So if Harriet Tubman freed slaves, she knew she was able to reject intelligently what the people around her, known as the world, was giving her. And she wanted to help others see that, because she was able to finally see that. She's one of many. Okay, she's just more of a popular one. She's probably one that survived the longest. We were not there. I wasn't there. Physically. Okay? So, my physical memory, okay, is understanding that even today, right, today, this world we live in, we can accept or reject, right? We can accept, go to work, get a 9-to-5, go to school, get a degree, work for a corporate organization, job, get a 401k, or we can reject. We could start a brand. We could take some classes. We could go to business school. We could ask questions. We could read books. We could go online. We could go on YouTube. We could be born into it. We could find another route. Right? And those are two different options. There's still a third. The loving God is going to give you options. And they may not be easy at first. They may not be easy at first. But you know. You just know. You've seen things personally. Oftentimes, and when I say seen, I do not mean with these physical eyes. See, sometimes it's hard for us to walk into certain directions because we can't see anything at first, right? So let me give you a quick scenario. If we talk about, the industry and music, let's just talk about music and industry. Oftentimes, artists are looking for that contract, right? They're looking for them funds in the beginning, right? Like, we'll guarantee you, we'll put the money in your account today. We'll give you this $1 million, right? And you sign this contract. Because you could see the $1 million, right? So you sign this contract and you get that guaranteed $1 million. So what they do, they seen the $1 million, they sign. I know y'all seen Rumpelstiltskin. Is it Rumpelstiltskin? You signed that contract. Now with God, you may not have that same effect.